You're listening to the PRO Media Network. The next level in entertainment.
Here goes AD. Throwing it down. How about a poster? Anthony Davis is on fire.
You're listening to the Pelicans post-game report on the PRO Media Network for all things Pelicans.
For all things Pelicans, we are the Pelican post-game report on the PRO Media Network. I'm Big Q, hosting, coming in with it. The episode number 174 of the podcast. That's right, 174. And in this episode, we're giving you 2 for 1. I might as well say 2 for 1 in the preview. We're recapping the Pels win over both the Phoenix Suns and those pesky Golden State Warriors. That's right, wins over both teams. We're recapping with stats, facts, breakdowns, interviews from Coach Al Gentry, AD, Drew Holiday, and we got a list of topics. Before we get into it with the rundown, let's give you a round of applause. For supporting, donating, everything that you do. We thank you for joining us today on the Pelican Postgame Report, and the co-host via Skype, a Pelican Eye View contributor, Mr. DC. How you doing tonight, my friend?
I'm good, man. Getting geared up, getting serious, getting intense, ready for these playoffs, right? Ain't that what we doing?
It's about time, my man. It's definitely about time. And before we get into it, let's get ready to hit you with the rundown. But the rundown is also brought to you by the good folks at The Posh Lifestyle. That's www.theposhlifestyle.com. That's life spelled with a Y, L-Y-F-E style.com. They have organic supplements. They have water filters. They have all kind of great and wonderful healing magnetics, healing jewelry, protection devices such as stun guns. They have mace sprays. If you have a daughter away at college, going to school, there's kits that the Posh Lifestyle sell, which protection kits that you might be interested in. There's music, mixtapes that are updated almost daily, and hair, natural products, beauty aids that's totally organic, no chemicals, cruelty-free products. You can feel good and get a good deal. So check them out, www.theposhlifestyle, life spelled with a Y, L-Y-F-E style.com. With the Sports Coma coupon, you can put in the coupon section to receive 10% off on the discount. That's the Sports Coma, all lower caps. Now, getting into the rundown today on podcast 174, like I said, we'll recap the wins over both the Phoenix Suns and the Golden State Warriors. We're also in today's Pelican topics. We'll cover a few topics. The Pels get 3 in a row. Pelicans get 3 wins in a row on the big deal for the Pels. Instant Grits gets going in one of the games for the Pelicans. He comes back and gets fired up off the bench. Yeah, he went off again. Instant Grits gets going. And then we'll talk about Nikola Mirotic goes off as well. Nico been starting for him over the last 3 games. He's been balling. We'll get into that topic. The Pels playing their best ball coming up to the playoff break. Of course, they have 2 more games left, 1 road trip against the Clippers. We'll preview that game on the other side of the break. And also, they have the game, the final game of the regular season at home against the San Antonio Spurs Wednesday.
It's gonna be a good game, that, bro.
No doubt about it. Going to be a real good one. And then, of course, we'll talk about the Pelicans. Can the Pelicans win a series, a playoff series? We'll get into that. And also, we'll talk about Rajon Rondo, the floor general, how important Rajon Rondo has been over these last 3 games in particular, but pretty much over the season. He's been a steady and force for this team. But in particular, these 3-game winning streak the Pelicans are currently on, how instrumental he has been. We'll go into that. And, of course, like I said, the preview of Monday night's game against the Los Angeles Clippers, who were recently eliminated from the playoffs, as the Pelicans are moving inching closer and closer to the playoffs. So without further ado, let's get into the first matchup. The Pelicans took on the Phoenix Suns out in Phoenix. Of course, Phoenix is not much to talk about. Delvin Booker did not play in this game. Neither did TJ Warren and a few other good players. And the Pelicans were able to play really good in this game. They won it 122-103. They only trailed once in the game. That was 2-0 in the opening minutes, pure domination. They answered by scoring 10 unanswered points, led by as many as 27 in the game. They grabbed 55 rebounds on the night, including 13 on the offensive end. They were seen of which coming in the first quarter. New Orleans outscored Phoenix on second chance points, 27-13. With the win, they swept the season series against Phoenix for the first time since the 07-08 season. The New Orleans also had 3 players that recorded double-doubles. Anthony Davis had 33 points, 11 rebounds. Nikola Mirotic had 31 points, 16 rebounds. And Drew Holiday had 22 points, 10 assists. That's 3 players with triple-doubles. That's amazing. Phoenix had cut the New Orleans lead to 12 points with at 93-81 with about 9 minutes to play in the game, but the Pelicans answered with an 11-2 run to push the lead back up to 20+ with 5 minutes left to play, ultimately just shattering and beating them to death. 122-103 in the win. DC, coming to you. You watched this game in particular, man. What you thought about it?
Man, I thought there was basically like a sports car there, but it just firing on all cylinders, moving fast, getting the ball around, everybody taking shots. Mirotic took 2 more shots than AD. I was like, wow, that's crazy. Rondo had an off game, which is pretty unusual for them to have this many points and he have an off game, but they managed to pull it out. So I guess maybe he was getting the balls in the right spots still. And it was amazing defensive effort too. Just energy from the opening tip, man. They went out there dedicated and motivated to basically get some rest. That's what I saw. They wanted to be ready for the Golden State Warriors. So they went in there with the mindset of stopping this game pretty much in the third quarter. And I think they did that. They definitely scored 36 points in the fourth quarter. And they put up 23 in the third, which ain't that good. But they held Phoenix to 24. So that was the Achilles heel for us, and they went in and maintained the lead after halftime. And you saw the guys getting to get a break later in the game. So it was an amazing thing to see these guys go out and perform the way they did and to be focused against a team that's basically playing for nothing, and you could have easily overlooked them, as well as doing the same thing the game before against the Memphis Grizzlies. So very, very positive signs for the Pelicans, stepping it up, looking like that team that was on that 10-game winning streak, man, moving closer to the playoffs.
Absolutely. And they played really well in this game. Like you said, they took care of business, got in there, got out of there, got AD and the rest of the core group rest to get ready to play long minutes against the Golden State Warriors. We'll preview that on the other side of the break as well. Here, let's get into Al Gentry with his thoughts.
I thought we played well in spurts. I thought we sometimes had a little bit of lapse in concentration, but for the most part, we did, what we had to do. I thought we had good ball movement early, and then I thought we went to a little bit too much isolation basketball. But every time we did, we got back to what we're accustomed to doing.
Is it tough for them to stay focused in a game where they basically control from the start?
It should never be tough to stay focused in any game. Especially considering what the stakes are for us. So you got to be able to. It doesn't matter if it comes easy, hard, or whatever. You just got to do whatever you got to lead with, and we did. We got to lead by passing the basketball, cutting, and just doing real simple things.
Coach, what things have you seen in your last 2 wins that sets you up basically for this knockout round that's going to start tomorrow at Golden State?
Well, I think we played good basketball all along. Like I said, we have some areas that we had to get better at. The offensive rebounding early in this game was a problem. So that's an area that we've got to take care of. And the turnovers, I thought we did a much better job tonight with. But, it come down to, you're just going to play some good teams. You got to play good basketball.
What have you seen out of Nikola Mirotic the last 2 games that's enabled him to have such great success?
Well, I think we've had better ball movement, number one. Like I said, the last game we had 32 assists or 33 assists. When we get into the 30s, that's telling me that we've got good ball movement and good player movement. And usually when we do that, we find open players because we are a very unselfish team. He's been able to have spacing and catch it. And
that's Coach Al Gentry breaking down the game, folks, telling you about the ball movement, the defense, and everything else. And he spoke about the assists. The Pelicans had 29 assists in this game. They had 9 steals, several blocks. Only turned the ball over 15 times, but still in all, they did enough to win. They won on the fast break battle 16-11, beat them in the points of the paint 48-36. They also converted more free throws. I mean, shot a better free throw percentage, 80% versus 77%. They had more total rebounds, 65-56. Total all-out better effort. Even shot more than 3-pointers, 6 of 38 versus Phoenix's 9 of 33. Of course, Phoenix, you can't really say too much. It's the worst team in the Western Conference. So the Pelicans did exactly what we would expect a team that is a pretty good team to do, is to spank a pretty bad team. Let's listen to team star Anthony Davis, his thoughts on the game. Here's AD.
Come out and play hard. Anytime you play against a team like that, you can never count them out. And they got a lot of guys who can shoot the ball. So that's all it was. They made shots, play hard, and we were able to find a way to get some more stops and expand the lead a little bit.
What do you think of Nico again? Second straight game that he's been really good. 2 of the best games he's played since he's come here.
He played really well. Both ends of the floor, had some good defensive possessions, and was able to make some tough shots. So he's playing at a high level.
You mentioned the aggressiveness to start the game, and it seemed like Drew was really good defense. I know he's been that way all season, but did you feel like he did a good job of kind of setting the tone defensively?
No, for sure. He's our defensive guy, and when he's playing well defensively, we tend to play well. Anytime he's turning the ball over, he's going to get it back, or anytime he make a bad play on offense, whatever, he try to get it back on defense, and that's his mentality, and that's our mentality as a team. But it starts with him pressuring the ball and getting to guys, and when, especially for me, when I see that, my radar goes off and makes me want to be the same way. We're going to enjoy it and have fun with it.
Must win every time. Is that stressful, or is it make you more motivated?
Nah, it's fun. There's nothing to stress about. We live great lives. We live great lives, man. Ain't nothing to stress about. At the end of the day, it's just a game, and we go out there and be able to play the game that we
That's
love.
Andy Davis talking about his contribution in the game against Phoenix. Of course, AD finished the game 33 points, 11 rebounds, and 3 blocks. He shot 11 of 23 from the field, and 2 of 4 from downtown, 9 of 11 from the free throw line, and 34 minutes for Anthony Davis led his team in scoring. Matter of fact, he was the game scorer, top scorer in the game with 33. Also,
the only stat on the sheet he didn't cover is the turnovers. He didn't have one of them.
Yeah, I was looking
pretty
at that.
Pretty much everything else he checked it off.
Exactly right. But that was the great part about a great player, as Anthony Davis is, continue to step up and do big things as well. Now, our next interview we have before we give some commentary is Nikola Mirotic is coming up. Of course, Nikola was really big in this game too. 31 points in this game for Nikola Mirotic. He had 16 rebounds. He had a block, but he was 11 of 25 from the field, 5 of 11 from downtown, 4 of 4 from the free throw line. He finished with 31 points, 16 rebounds, and 35 minutes of action. He was terrific in his game. Drew Holiday played exceptional, too. He had 22 points and 10 assists, 6 rebounds in 32 minutes. All 3 of those guys was excellent in his game as well. But let's listen to Nikola Mirotic as he breaks down what happened in the Phoenix Suns game.
Couple threes, and it was really important game for me to build my confidence, to bounce back, and as a team we knew the importance of this game, and I think right from the beginning we set a tone, and we played great defense, and offensively we had a lot of fun sharing the ball and win the game.
They closed within 9 with about 5.5 minutes to go in that fourth quarter. You had a couple of big threes and kind of set them back a little bit, and the game was over after that.
It was more about, I always give a credit to my teammates for the good extra passes, and they knew I was feeling good today, and the coach did a great job trying to find me. He put some place for me, and I felt very confident, especially with my defense, and I think when I feel that confident defensively, my offense is coming, so I'm not feeling like I need to rush for the game, so I think the game is coming to me. So it was one of those games, and now we need to take care and think about next game.
What are you seeing in the first couple minutes of this second game in a row that you guys got off to a great start? It seemed like you.
That's Nikola Mirotic, man, talking about his contributions in the game. And he's been quite the seamless guy, hasn't he, DC? We got about less than a minute before the break. What's your thoughts on Nikola Mirotic and his contributions?
Real smooth and electric, like those Nikolai Teslas, Nikola Mirotic. But anyway, everybody will get that. Real positive impact he had since he didn't cut that hair off his face, man. I think he had a little superstition going on, but I'm glad he did it. He's basically become a member of the Big Three now. It's Drew, AD, and Nikolai. So Nikolai
is in the building as the Pelicans stomp the Phoenix Suns 122 to 103.
Single-handedly that brought our three-point shooting back.
Yeah, thanks, Nikolai. But when we come back, we'll put the cap on this game. Then we'll get the preview going for the Golden State Warriors game. We'll also cover our topics and the preview for the Clippers that's happening on Monday night. You're listening to the Pelican Post Game Report on the PRO Media Network. Stay with us.
Get all the latest news and updates from your New Orleans Pelicans at the Pelicans Eye View, the new and official Pelicans Daily Journal, covering everything Pelicans. Attention, everyone. Get breakdown on games, free agent signings and potential moves, unbiased opinions and straight up facts with statistical analysis from G Balance. Go to www.thesportsdaily.com/Pelicans-I-View.
I'm a Saints and Pelicans fan, so the only podcast I can get my fix is The Sports Coma with Big Q. The guy's intense, funny, and they always keep it real.
Check out The Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys.
What's up, sports world? This Big Q from the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys. Talking to you about the website, theposhlifestyle.com. That's right, theposhlifestyle.com. A great website where you can get great products at great prices. They sell organic herbs, vitamins, supplements, water filters for your home, EMF and cell phone radiation protection, healing magnetics and healing crystals, personal protection devices like cell phones, stun guns, and mace sprays, organic deodorants, shampoos, soaps, toothpaste, and more. They also sell 10A grade Brazilian hair. 10A music is available now. All kind of the latest downloadable mixtapes. So what are you waiting for? Head on over to theposhlifestyle.com. That's the Posh Lifestyle, life spelled with a Y, LYFE style.com. Put in the Sports Coma for the 10% discount on your purchase. It's a win-win. So get your mind and body right with the Posh Lifestyle.
Forget ESPN or Fox. Get straight sports talk from the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys.
You're listening to the Pelicans postgame report on the PRO Media Network for all things Pelicans.
For all things Pelicans, we are the Pelican postgame report on the PRO Media Network. In the first segment, we covered most of the Phoenix Suns contest as wasn't much of a contest. The Pelicans just stumped the dog crap out of them, 122 to 103, dominated them in every possible way imaginable. And that's pretty much it. We about to put the cap on this one here because there's not really much else to talk about. Maybe a few things.
We got to talk about Drew Holiday and his amazing performance. He had 22 points, 6 rebounds, and 10 assists, 4 rebounds shy of a triple-double, while also getting 2 steals, 2 blocks, and guess what? He checked off all the boxes, unlike AD. He got 2 fouls and 2 turnovers, too. But he's pretty easily one of the better players of the night. I mean, you could kind of just pick a name out of the hat between the new Big Three and saying who was the best of the game.
Yeah, of course, Drew Holiday was excellent, and I think we talked about him sparingly before the break, his contributions. But also, I guess we can mention while we added Jamal Crawford, Instant Grits played his first game back with the Pelicans.
13 points.
13 points in 9 minutes. 4 out of 7 shooting. 4 of 7 from downtown. So he hit 4 from downtown. 13 points for him.
All
in the
3
game.
pointers, huh?
Yeah,
I think
pretty
he
much.
gunning for Darius Miller job, huh?
He must be gunning for him, but yeah, really interesting though. But the Pelicans really got it, and it's just awesome, man, how they played in this one. I can't say enough about it. But let's move on to our next contest, and that'll be the fact that the Pelicans traveled a little farther west to take on them Golden State Warriors. Now the Warriors have beaten the Pelicans since 2015, so it's been a long time since the Pelicans had gotten any wins against this club. So it was a big feat when they were able to actually pull this game off. It was a very, very eventful game, very exciting game. Gave you thrills, chills, everything that amusement ride would give you. The first win tonight by the Pelicans snapped the 10-game regular season losing streak, which is 14 including the postseason, and 10-game road losing streak to the Warriors. This is the first win over Golden State since April 7th of 2015, and the first win at Oracle since April of the 24th of 2012. So it's been a while since they've beaten this team in any capacity. New Orleans is connected on their first 9 field goal attempts from the game. They were 17 of 24 from the field in the first quarter, including 5 of 7 from downtown. They trailing by 11, 59-48, with about 5 minutes remaining in the first half. Golden State went on a 17-6 run to tie the game with 26 seconds remaining in the first half. New Orleans did not trail in the game until the 4-minute mark of the third quarter. That's to be noted. When the former Pelican Quinn Cook buried a three-pointer to take the lead 84-82, trailing 80-72, the Warriors went on a 20-8 run to end the third quarter, taking a 4-point lead until the final quarter. Trailing at 108-105 with 6 minutes remaining in regulation, New Orleans went on a 14-3 run to take a 119-111 lead, their largest of the quarter with 3:59 remaining, holding a slim 121-119 lead. Rondo made a critical play, stealing the ball from Durant, which led to an Etuan Moore pull-up jumper, making it a 2-point possession with 23 seconds remaining. Holiday scored 13 of his 25 in the final quarter. New Orleans scored 26 points off of 17 turnovers by Golden State and committed just 8 turnovers themselves. So that is a noteworthy stat to tell you guys, is that the Pelicans converted 26 points off of 17 miscues from Golden State while holding their own turnovers down to an amazing 8 turnovers. And they beat them by 126-120. Now, DC, give me your thoughts on this game quickly before we hear a little bit from Coach Al Gentry.
I think this was an amazing game, man, that they pulled this off. I mean, they went against a Golden State team that was shorthanded without Steph Curry, of course. Kevin-Durant was in full form. This team would not give up. We constantly got up on them 10, 13 points, and they come on right back. But there was a specific play I like to point out with AD, man. When I saw this, I'm like, man, we're going to win this game. Durant went in the lane, and he tried to dunk on AD, man. AD blocked it. I mean, it was poster-worthy block. They still wound up tipping the ball in and scoring. I think it was maybe about 3 or 4 minutes left in the game. But once I saw that and the level of intensity that Anthony Davis had on the defensive end, as well as the offensive end, and the whole team just seemed to feed off of that type of momentum. And that play, I think, was a big catalyst of pushing them over the hump and getting them to beat the Warriors, man. And I can't say enough about AD, man. He's, to me, the Michael Jordan of power forwards. That's how his potential can be. The sky's the limit for that dude on defensive and offensive end. Nikola Mirotic came out and he done amazing again. And you got the same type of extraordinary effort from Rondo, man. Either one of those guys could have been the player of the game. Everybody laid it on the line. It felt like a true playoff game with the type of intensity the Pelicans had. And, of course, Drew Holiday chipped in and did his thing, too. It's very good to see them playing that well and gelling together like they are moving into the playoffs.
All right, well, that's well said. Good analysis. Let's listen to Coach Al Gentry and see if he follows up with DC.
I mean, I just thought we played about as perfect as you have to play to beat them. I mean, they're just such a great team, and they just keep coming at you, and we were never comfortable. We got up 11 and felt pretty good about it, but 4 possessions later, it's a 1-point game, and you just have to keep playing against this group, and you have to keep executing. You can't get down. We tried to stop. We tried to stop all the big runs by taking a timeout. They scored a couple of baskets. We tried to take a timeout and just get our guys back in line and understand that we just have to stop the big runs against them.
Considering the circumstance and the team, might this be the best win this season?
I like all our wins. I really do. I mean, I think we beat a real quality team tonight. But we've beaten some quality teams before, and we play good basketball. Even last week when we struggled and lost some games, we played well. We just weren't able to finish the game, and we had to try to finish the game today.
Coach, the movement of the basketball tonight, you said that had to be a key, and it seemingly has now continued through this winning streak. What has now encouraged your team to get back to their old ways?
Well, I think anytime we move the ball, and I think tonight we had 39 assists, I think when we get to that number right there, that means that we're moving the basketball, we're getting easy shots, because if you have 39 assists, you got to be coming up with some easy possessions and easy shots. And I think for us, the more we move the basketball, the more we cut, then especially against teams that switch, then some kind of way we're able to find mismatches. And I thought we did a great job of that tonight, of just moving the basketball enough that when there was a mismatch there, we got it to that guy and he came through for us.
Coach, when you have to lean on your best players like you did tonight, is that kind of what you're going to see moving forward with this team, that those are the guys that will have to lead the way for you?
Well, they're going to have to lead the way, but we have to have other guys step up and play. I think Mirotic has been playing great.
That was Coach Al Gentry, y'all, talking about the win over the Golden State Warriors. First time they beat them in a long time, man. And it's just terrific, that the Pelicans were able to get that win, because a lot of people didn't think the Pelicans would be able to pull it off, but they did. DC, they were able to do it, man. And I like
shout out to the Golden State Warriors too, man, because we played pretty much almost a perfect game, bro, and we only beat them by 6 points. So that is truly champions and a very, very good team.
Yeah, and in particular, man, I like to I know what Draymond and Kevin-Durant and Klay-Thompson can do, but a big shout out for one of our favorites, Quinn Cook, who finished the game with 21 points, 7 assists. He had 3 rebounds in the game on 8 of 14 shooting. He was 5 of 7 from downtown in 37 minutes. So he put on a very good performance to help his team. It's just the fact that the bench didn't give the starters enough help. And the Pelicans, to be honest with you, add an extra caveat on this win for the Pelicans. The Pelicans were excellent, and they only played 8 players against Golden State. Golden State went 10 deep in their roster. Pelicans only 8 deep. And they relied heavily on their new version, which is the big three. Anthony Davis finished with 34 points, 12 rebounds. He had 4 big blocks in his game, including a huge block on Kevin Durant, man. Now, of course, the guy got the rebound and then put it up and kind of stole a little thunder. But the fact that Anthony Davis challenged Kevin Durant and blocked the hell out of him, it was just lit a fire under me. But he finished it with 34 points, 12 rebounds, 4 blocks, 4 assists. He was 13 of 24 from the field, 8 of 10 from the free throw line. He finished. That was 40 minutes of action from Anthony Davis. Then you had Nikola Mirotic, who had a royal effort, if I can call it that. 28 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists. He had 3 steals of his own right in this game. Pretty good steals, by the way, in 40 minutes. And then, of course, Drew Holiday was awesome, too. 25 points, 4 steals, 6 assists. He had 5 rebounds on 10 of 18 shooting from the field. Struggled from downtown, 1 of 5, but was perfect from the free throw line. And in clutch moments, he usually 3 times this year he missed some clutch free throws, but not tonight. He was 4-4 from the free throw line in 40 minutes. And then, of course, we got to give love. Well, love is due to guys like Etwan Moore, who had 15 points, 7
he didn't
assists.
miss a shot, huh?
He was 7 of 7 from the field, 1 of 1 from downtown in 37 minutes. He was perfect in this game. And then, of course, the floor general himself, Rajon Rondo, 12 points, 17 assists in the game for Rajon Rondo in 32 minutes of action. Big efforts all together, all around for the Pelicans 5. DC, quick commentary before we go to Anthony Davis to see what his thoughts are.
Again, man, a wonderful effort, like you said. Very good commentary. You basically done took all the meat off the bone for me. It's nothing more to be said, man. It's a very impressive win for them to beat the Warriors team. I know they only won by 6 points, but if you watch the game, the Pelicans dominated the whole game. I don't think the Warriors got the lead until probably late in the third or the fourth quarter. So, again, I was glad to see their focus and their non-lackadaisicalness, because Alvin Gentry always said, "Oh, they're playing too tight. They're playing too tight." Well, I think sometimes they play too unfocused and too loose. It's almost like they don't care.
Exactly.
And I haven't been seeing that at all over this last 3-game stretch. I mean, you got to stay sharp and you got to stay focused to beat a team like the Warriors. So shout out to them, man. It's a very impressive win to go in Golden State and beat a team that you couldn't beat in 2 years without one of your biggest stars, DeMarcus Cousins. And just a very big shout out for this team the whole year after that All-Star break by just not throwing in the towel and continuing to fight, man. So you're saying the remnants of that come back alive when they go into the playoffs again. I'm gonna keep sounding that horn because this is probably the best thing we could have seen for them to, I guess, go in there, contend, and be able to compete, for them to play how they playing now.
Here's Anthony Davis. We'll just talk about his 34-point, 12-rebound effort.
Yeah, it was a big win for us. It's a tough place to play. They go on runs all the time, and you just got to be able to withstand that run and make a run of your own to kind of even it out. So when we got out to that lead, instead of us making a run to try to catch back up, we kind of made our run to separate a little bit. But the defending champions, so we want to make sure we just come out, knowing the position that we're in, just come out and play hard and do anything we can to win.
What did you see on the play where Rondo made the steal on KD late in the game?
It was a good defensive play. He read it right. He was able to get the steal. It was a big defensive play by him.
How big is Nico again tonight? This is 3 games in a row where he's been great.
No, he's been extremely well, shooting the ball at a high level, doing it on both ends of the floor. So we're going to need him to play this way for the remainder of the season and throughout the playoffs. And his confidence is very high. He's playing very well.
These guys are obviously the best offensive team in the league. They've been one of the best for a bunch of years. But the last couple minutes of the game, it seemed like you guys got stops in a situation where you had to have them. What did you see defensively? Why you guys were able to do that?
We just play hard.
That's Anthony Davis, man, chiming in with his thoughts after a very exciting game. It went down to the wire. And the Pelicans, I got to give them big credit. This was a huge win. A huge win for the team, because with 2 games remaining, they've now built it to a 3-game winning streak after losing 4 in a row, I think it was. So now they're up to 3 games. They have 2 winnable. Well, I ain't gonna say winnable. The Clippers game is a very winnable game, but they're still. Even though they've been eliminated, the Clippers they should be without Lou Williams, but we'll cover that down the line. But that is an awesome matchup that they could get. And then, of course, the season finale against the San Antonio Spurs, a team that's fighting for playoff positions. You can't. That's basically going to be a playoff game. Just like this Golden State game was had a playoff atmosphere to it. The same would be said about the San Antonio Spurs game.
Yeah, that Golden State game had a playoff atmosphere because Golden State, they went there and laid an egg their last game, and their coach got on them. So you knew they was going to bring their A game against the Pelicans, but that still wasn't enough.
No, it wasn't enough, and he could still be proud of his team because they fought a good battle against this team.
Yeah, they played well, man.
All right, let's move on to our topics now, DC. That's all we're going to cover as far as the recaps on the game. Let's go into our topics. The Pelicans get 3 in a row. As we mentioned earlier, they were able to get the very nice wins. Of course, they have one more game left of the 3-game road trip on the West Coast to finish up Monday night against the Clippers. But, looking at the rest of the things that happened, DC, going into the playoff situation, looking at how they played, do you think the Pelicans could actually win a playoff series? As it stands right now, we are 5th placed. We're in the 5th seed, and the Utah Jazz is in the 4th seed. So we would actually play the Jazz if the playoffs was to start today. We'll be in a 7-game series with the Jazz. They will have home and field advantage. Could we actually win that playoff series?
Most definitely, but we still got 2 games left, so you don't know it's going to pan out. Utah can fall all the way down to number 7 or 8. We really don't know who we're going to be playing.
Right, they
But
won
the
tonight.
Pelicans,
So, yeah.
if they win these next 2 games, they can easily move up to that 4th spot and host the home game. But if they play on the road, we have the 3rd best road record in the league. So I don't see it being a problem. And Utah is a team that gives us issues. But I think if they play anything like they played against the Golden State Warriors with that type of intensity, and the whole team comes with it, they can definitely win the playoff series. The only team I see them being able to not being able to beat would be the Houston Rockets. The Warriors, again, you would want to say they can't beat them. But if Steph Curry isn't playing in the first round, that definitely makes it interesting.
Right. Let me do this. I'm going to combine, in the interest of time, I'm going to combine a couple of these last topics, including Rondo, the floor general, and Nikola Mirotic is going off, and, of course, instant grits. I'm going to kind of put those guys together. The play of these guys, Rondo, Nikola, and, of course, instant grits turning that 13-point performance in the big win over Phoenix. Put together quickly a synopsis of what you're thinking about the contributions of these great players. Rajon Rondo turning it on, 17 assists against the Golden State Warriors, a couple of key defensive plays. Nikola Mirotic, 28-point effort against the Golden State Warriors. He was absolutely fantastic on the defensive end. He was doing hard rebounds, fell on the floor, twisted his ankle. This guy still got out there and balled for 40 minutes.
He was doing it all, man.
So talk about the contributions of Rondo, Nikola Mirotic, and of course the newest acquisition, which is one of the old guys, Jamal Crawford.
Instant grits. Quick grits. I think Rondo, honestly, is the heart and soul of this team. Without Rondo, 47 wins would not be possible. He does a lot more than what people realize. You can see it when he comes out of the game and AD's not on the floor. The team looks confused. They don't look like they know where they're supposed to be. It translates even on the defensive side. The switching is horrible. Not all the time. They've been doing a little bit better. But Rondo makes this thing move, man. So Nikola Mirotic is the hired gun, man. You know, he sit back out there long range and he pick them off. That's our sniper. I know people want to call him the babyface assassin now because he cut all his hair off. He's doing a very good Steph Curry impression from that line. But he also gives you a lot on defense, a lot more than I expected from him coming out of Chicago. Nobody talked about that standpoint of his game. And he consistently gets you 10 to 8 rebounds a game well. So
he does.
He has a very well-rounded game, but most people just realize his shooting and his craftiness in the post. But I think he's a very well-rounded player, and he's doing a great job filling in for DeMarcus Cousins.
And quickly on Instant Grits.
3 games. Instant Grits that's the guy we need off the bench, man. It's another Ian Clark type to come in and drop points real fast. And I remember we talked about this a while ago. We was disappointed when they let him go. We know he don't play a lot of defense, but I feel what he gives you on offense in such a short period of time, I don't understand why we just putting him back on the team.
Yeah, that's absolutely true, DC. Well said, man. We were kind of scratching our heads about that movement ourselves. Let's get into the preview now. We got 2 minutes left to go before the end of the show. Let's get into the preview. Of course, the Pelicans take on the Los Angeles Clippers out there in the Staples Center for the final game of the series. Of course, the Pelicans pretty much lead the series against this team 2-1. They lost the last matchup. Not the last matchup, but they lost back in January, late January, against the Clippers 112-103. In this matchup now, the last 5 games against the Clippers, the Pelicans are 3-2 against this club. The last 10, they're 4-6. And of course, we looking at this team, and you think about the players that's not going to be playing in this game. DC Lou Williams is touted to be a guy that's supposed to be out in this game. Danilo Gallinari is supposed to be out in this game, and
he's been out all season.
Right, but they say he's day to day, but they say Lou Williams is not was day to day as well. A game time decision, but the Pelicans, man, they lead this team 2-1 on the season series. The top scorers, of course, Lou Williams, 22.5 points a game. DeAndre Jordan is the top rebounder, and Lou Williams is the top assist man. They average about 109 points a game, give up 108. The Pelicans 111, almost 112 a game, giving up just 110.7. Looking at this game based on the Clippers, the fact that they are a team that is 42-38, they lost 2 in a row. Of course, they were recently eliminated this past weekend. What's your thoughts quickly on this game with the Clippers? Who wins it?
I think the Pelicans win it, but we definitely need to see Emeka Okafor sighting. Maybe this is the first game we can see Emeka Okafor in the starting lineup with Mirotic and AD, because DeAndre Jordan will try to beat AD up down in the paint, and we don't need an injury from AD, so we need to keep him free and clear, and maybe think about doing that. I think if we do something like that, maybe change the lineup a little different than we had these last 3 games, we easily get a victory.
Yeah, they're saying Lou Williams is doubtful for Monday night game against the Pelicans, so we'll just have to see. Well, they say he's doubtful, and then it's listed as day-to-day, so I expect Lou Williams to probably play with 2 games left to go in the season. So you might have a Lou Williams sighting. You're absolutely right on that. I would love to see Emeka Okafor get an opportunity to match up against DeAndre Jordan. I don't think it'll be to their benefit to play small in this particular game, but we'll see what Al Gentry do. He's a pretty stubborn guy. I also picked the Pelicans to win this game as well, so me and DC both agree on that. So once again, that'll be the end of the show.
111-107.
111-107, you heard the man. Thank y'all for joining us tonight on the Pelican Postgame Report on the PRO Media Network. As always, if you want to support the platform, go to www.patreon.com/the PRO Media Network. Also support our sponsor at theposhlifestyle.com and join our social media pages on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, you name it. All of the information is in the links below. Thank you for joining. For me and DC, hey.
Forget ESPN or Fox. Get straight sports talk from the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys.
What's up, world? This is DC from the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys. Have you ever been sitting in front of your computer screen, or in traffic, tired, lacking energy, feeling drained? Did you know there are electromagnetic fields or EMF waves all around you that cause this disease? Get it? Dis-ease? Luckily here at Posh Lifestyle, you can get your EMF protection. They have pendants, the shell-dyed bricks, cubes, and pyramids. Check out theposhlifestyle.com. That's life spelled with a Y. POSHLYFESTYLE.com for all your health needs. So get your mind and body right with a Posh Lifestyle.
Clear, clean, great-tasting filtered water. We're all thirsty for it. But in the U.S. alone, an estimated 2.5 million plastic bottles are added to the environment each year in search of the perfect drink of water. There has to be a better solution, and there is. Crystal Quest, a leader in the manufacturing of water filtration technology, has been providing clean, drinkable water for 20 years. With a deep commitment to providing the highest quality products and excellent customer service, Crystal Quest has been recognized by such leaders as Consumers Digest, Dr. Oz, and Colin Ingram's The Water Drinking Book. Providing cost-effective, reliable water filtration systems for residential, commercial, and industrial customers worldwide. Offering our customers the cleanest and most environmental-friendly drinking water at a rating of high purity. With Crystal Quest's water filtration technology, you can rest assured that your water will be crystal clear. Contact our network of authorized distributors and join our thousands of satisfied customers.
Just log into theposhlifestyle.com. Once again, that is theposhlifestyle.com.
You're listening to the Pelicans postgame report on the PRO Media Network for all things Pelicans.
In today's world, children are bombarded with negativity on television, online, and at school. Our kids need to have a positive outlook on life and the world around them. I want to share with you a valuable resource you can use to bring positivity into your child's life. It's the new book, 101 Powerful Children Affirmations, a guide to positive child self-image, from author and dad, G.J. Barabino. This is a simple guide loaded with wonderful and inspirational inspirational affirmations designed to uplift young people's spirits. This positive and powerful children affirmational is chock full and loaded with wonderful inspirational sayings that will lift your child's self-image to whole new levels through the awesome power of spoken word. 101 Powerful Children Affirmations, a guide to positive child self-image from author and dad G.J. Barabino. Available on Amazon. Order a copy for yourself, your child's teachers, or anyone you know with children. 101 Powerful Children Affirmations, a guide to positive child self-image. Order your copy today.
What is big? Big is taking flight. Big is sending back that weak sauce. Big is ball handling that sets the hardwood on fire. New Orleans Pelicans, do it big.